Good evening, everyone. Kalla here. Welcome to my live stream. Glad you could make it today. So today we are checking out the demo of The Community Notes Are Wrong. And if you want to check it out for yourself, there is a link to the itch.io page in the description box. And with that, shall we get into it? Play the common roots. Of course we're playing the common roots. I wake up with a dry mouth and a throbbing headache. The sunlight filtering through the sheer curtains is far too bright for how I feel. Habit is a dangerous thing. My hand reaches across the bed before I'm even fully awake, searching for warmth that hasn't been there in 3 months. Of course the bed is cold. I let out a slow breath, drag my legs over the side of the bed. My slippers are still in their perfect little place beside the nightstand. I'm not used to them staying there. Not since she left. She always kicked them halfway across the room or under the bed when she got up first. On my vanity sits a bottle of top-shelf vodka, the mouth still bearing a faint smudge of lipstick. Lipstick stain on a half-empty bottle of vodka. How lyrical. I should put that in a song. I should be working. Writing, rehearsing, or at least replying to the 100 unread messages from notable talent. But I'm not quite ready yet. Maybe today I'll float around the pool on an inflatable flamingo and wait for the world to end. Sip some champagne with too much sugar? Try those journaling techniques the therapist I didn't want suggested. But work is coming because the TV is on downstairs. I take one more swig of vodka from the bottle before dragging myself downstairs. Ooh, that seems like a bad idea when you've first woken up. You know the spare key fob is supposed to be used only for emergencies, like a fire or a break-in? I'm about to lose my job, so I do consider it an emergency. The TV glows behind my intruder, illuminating his signature deadpan expression. My manager, Levy, has made himself comfortable in the lounge, one leg tucked under the other like it's his own home, chewing through the last of my artisanal chocolates. He has the TV tuned to a glossy talk show. You're not answering my texts or calls. I'm on my sabbatical. I've told the agency that. You know notable talent doesn't believe in sabbaticals. Especially not for artists who haven't released anything in a year. That really puts the wind back in my sails. Thank you. It's true. Your fans are forgetting you. Blake Sings is trending every other day. Blake trends because he does a YouTuber apology every week. I refuse to cry on camera for engagement. Cherry's already got merch lines. He gestures to the TV, where Cherry is mid-interview on a glossy talk show set. So, Cherry, now that you've made the jump from social media influencer to full-on recording artist, what's been the biggest change? Oh, the expectations. You go from people saying, "Oh my gosh, we love your covers," to "Can you top the charts?" And Cherry is like, yes! Watch over Cherry girls! Peace! So, she got signed? I didn't expect that. I don't need to be a Cherry. I have enough money to last me 20 years. Levy picks up the box of artisanal chocolates and jabs my chest with it. Not if you keep living like it grows off trees. You are the poster child of lifestyle creep. Look at this place. Do you even use all of these rooms? Levy's voice grows serious. Isla, you've got to move on from Romy. It's been 3 months. It's the first time anyone has said her name in this house in weeks. And I stare at the television, not really seeing it anymore. As if 3 months is enough to get over the girl you loved for 5 years. I am over her. It's done. I haven't texted her in weeks. I'm the pinnacle of sobriety right now. You smell like vodka. You're just full of compliments today. Levy sets down my chocolate, then rubs the back of his neck the way he always does when he's about to pitch a business deal. There's a job. I'm on break. You haven't even heard what it is. I don't need to. If it's from Notable, they already know I'm not working right now. It's not a full return. Just 1 track you're singing for a film. Just 1 track is going to signify to my fans a full return. And I walk over to the counter, open the fridge, and close it again without taking anything. What kind of film? It's called Poinsettia. Indie, sapphic, coming-of-age movie. They cast Asians for those now? You're not acting in it, it's just your voice. Opening track, maybe the credits too. So, another her song type of gig. If it turns into one, you'd get paid for it this time. I snort, half in laughter and half in disbelief. Levy's expression softens. It's filming in Belmont. Belmont? That gets me. You know my face gives it away. Mm-hmm. You still like it there? I had good salt bread last time I was there. I can't really get it here, they don't make it right. I see that perked your interest. I shoot him a pointed look. Let me guess. The movie's about 2 girls in high school who fall in love over guitar lessons and bike rides through suburbia. Hello, Nick. How you doing? Close. Except it's film class and bummed cigarettes on the rooftop. Melting? Yeah, that's a mood. I'm overheating already, and it's only going to get worse from here. Like they put out an actual weather warning. Chat isn't showing up. Alright, give me a sec. Why is chat not setting up? That should be working. Why is it not working? It's not even that I did it wrong this time. There we go. Just had to refresh it. This was more of a danger to life alert thing. Sorry, a heat health alert. Red for extreme heat. Joy of joys. Actually, I'm not sure if I'm in the red bit. But I'm definitely in the amber bit because the entire country is in the amber bit. Anyway. I'm not sure just having water should be the thing. At least tell me your center doesn't still have those broken heaters that are still going. The heater in your office is still on? That seems like something they really need to fix. Anyway. Enough about the heat. I'm too old to be the voice of teenage heartbreak, Levy. You're never too old to get an easy paycheck for sounding a little devastated. I'm naturally devastated. I should be charging extra. And then it's perfect. Just show up and be your charmingly bitter self. The problem with having the same manager since your debut is that he knows exactly how to get you to take a job. He grins like he knows exactly what he's doing. The TV is still running in the background. Cherry's voice is still blaring faintly, but I'm not really listening. Belmont, huh? Let me make it clear, I'm not committing to anything. That's my goal. I'll start packing my bags. And Levy... Do we want the spare? No, he can keep the spare key, it's fine. I need to make breakfast. Leave. I'm going to make coffee, I'm going to eat, and I want to do it without an audience. He presses a hand to his chest, mock offended. Ouch. Cold. Is this how it's going to be now, after all we've been through? Everything we've been through involves you getting 15% of my hard work. It doesn't include a permanent residency in my kitchen. I walk past him toward the kitchen, making a point not to look back. After a moment, he reaches past me towards the plate on the counter, snagging one last chocolate chip cookie with a flick of his wrist before leaving my apartment. Valmont is exactly how I remember it. It looks pretty. Just outside my just outside my hotel sits a plaza washed in light, the cobblestones shining like they've been freshly polished. I walk slowly through the square, letting the cool air settle around me. A few cafes are already open, chalkboard menus advertising morning specials. There are also couples everywhere. Hands brushing across cafe tables, heads resting on shoulders, shared earbuds, stolen bites of croissants. Even the pigeons seem to be arriving in pairs. I allow myself exactly 3 seconds to picture Romy and me on the green bench near the fountain, a hand playing with my hair, before I push the image out of my mind. I'm not quite famous enough to be stopped on the street, but I slip on my sunglasses anyway. A few heads turn as I walk past a cafe terrace, but it's hard to tell if it's me they're looking at or the sun catching off my glasses. Keep moving, Isla. There's a cafe that sells salt bread tucked in under the blue awning with the hand-painted lettering. The smell of toasted crusts, soft butter and herbs makes my mouth water. I pull out my phone and check the message from Levy again. Call time 1:30. Studio address already pinned. Looks like I have just enough time to pick up the bread. The guy behind the counter greets each customer like they've been coming here for years, even the tourists. He's tan, sleeves rolled up to the elbow, and somewhat pleasant looking. His name tag reads Jay. Have a good day, Margaret. The last customer leaves and I step up to the counter. 1 salt bread with cream, long black to go. Nice hair. The blue streaks are kind of punk for this part of Belmont. What can I say? I'm rebellious at heart. He grins. It's easy, maybe rehearsed. He does this every time he's alone in the cafe with a girl. Let me guess. Visiting? Working. In Belmont? That narrows it down to art, film, or international espionage. Let's say music. Even better. Artists tip well. He takes a paper cup from the stack and uncaps the marker with a satisfying pop. Name? Just write A. Should I be asking for an autograph? Or charging extra for this level of intrigue? I'm intriguing to you? I don't know why I said that. It's too flirty. He slides my coffee and bread across the counter with another easy smile. It comes with a loyalty card. Oh, I won't be here for long. You can have the card back. Belmont's got a way of making people stay longer than they plan. You might end up writing a whole album here. I laugh, though a bit sadly. Notable is not going to let me stay for that long. I could be gone by tomorrow. So, you'll be around tonight? Tonight, there's this pop-up thing happening on the street. Food, music, wine. You might like it. I blink. He's casual about it. Like he asks girls out between loaves all the time. Maybe he's just good at customer service. Maybe it's been too long since I've had sex, but his face is distracting. I'll think about it. You got a reason to say no? Maybe. And then, as if summoned by the universe, the opening chords recklessly float in from the cafe radio. I know those chords better than my own heartbeat. Piano, reverb, then my voice, younger, rawer. The first line spills out like it's been waiting to find me here. This one comes on all the time. Tourists love it, especially the girls. I'm so used to hearing it come on the radio at home, but I didn't expect it in Belmont. It's the first time I've heard the song since the breakup. You a fan? Or is it one of those songs that's played so much it just haunts you? Haunts me. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Take a quick, sharp sip of the coffee. It burns, but I welcome the distraction. I can't look at him while Romy's favourite bridge starts to build. A lot of people love her, the singer, and they say she's the voice of a generation. At that moment, my phone buzzes with a text from Levi. Where are you? You need to be in the studio in 10. I give Jay an apologetic smile. I gotta go. Jay nods, calling for the next customer, but not before shooting me one last smile. Recklessly was the first song I ever wrote that mattered. 5 years ago, 20-year-old Isla was holed up in a rented room with a keyboard that stuck on middle C and a bottle of cheap wine. Romy had left a scarf behind. I couldn't stop replaying the last thing she said to me. The whole song came out in one night. I sent her the demo at 3 a.m, then cried till the sun came up. And then it caught fire. A queer playlist picked it up. People started sharing it with captions like, "This is what heartbreak sounds like." When Notable Talent called the next week, I remember thinking the email was fake. I remember them calling it authentic, raw, a perfect debut. What they really meant was marketable, but the amateur I was didn't know it then and didn't care. Suddenly, I was a rising star. Recklessly turned into the lesbian anthem. It was in queer promposal videos, fan edits, and short-form content. People walked down the aisle to it, cried in traffic to it. If you want to indirectly ask if a girl is a lesbian, you ask, do you listen to Recklessly? I push the memory back down where it belongs and focus on the weight of the bread in my hand still warm. And honestly, I'm bloody proud of it. I didn't plan for it to happen, but it did. That song cracked open a whole career for me. It made me someone. It made me Isla Solace. The lesbian icon. I'm bisexual, but that part never made it into the press kit. It still hasn't. Romy wanted me to call myself a lesbian. So did Notable Talent. Easier to sell something the public already believed in. It was close enough to the truth. I wrote Recklessly for the girl I loved, and I didn't imagine I'd ever stop loving Romy. Even now it's complicated. Salt bread, then work. I walk into the sunlight, the song still playing in my head. When I arrive at the location, a few crew members are outside, drinking coffee, smoking, and fiddling with gear. Someone's got a dog on set. It wags its tail at me as I walk past. Inside, it smells of hot lights and metal. I slip off my sunglasses. I haven't recorded in months. I haven't even wanted to. But standing here, surrounded by quiet bustle and set chatter, I feel it again. The itch in my throat, the flutter behind my ribs. I've missed this. You're Isla, right? You're just on time. She definitely knows who I am, and I'm definitely late. She's young, probably working for free. She hands me a paper cup of herbal tea. We've got a green room if you want to chill before the town check. And the director's just wrapping upstairs. I'm good here. She gives me a thumbs up and disappears behind a curtain. The recording studio is already half set. Painted park, bench under a fake oak tree. Soft petals are scattered across the ground like someone's idea of love. It's sweet, a little on the nose. I don't hate it. Isla Solace? I turn. A boldly dressed woman approaches with a clipboard and a megaphone. I'm Sophia. I'm directing this thing. Just want to say, your songs got me through my first real heartbreak. Happy to be of service. My wife will probably want an autograph. I hope that's okay. Of course it is. She laughs before getting to business. We'll start light. Ambient, soft strings, space to breathe. We're going for something vulnerable but grounded. Nothing overproduced. An assistant passes me a folded lyric sheet. It's just a draft. If something doesn't sit right, change it. Phrase it how you'd say it. We want it to feel like you. I skim the lyrics. A few lines are too polished, too neat, like someone trying very hard to sound authentic. But the bones are good. There's something here. Then I noticed something. I thought I was doing both the opening theme and end credits. Oh, there's been a change of plans. The door in front of me swings open. Isla! I'm standing face to face with the one and only Cherry Rose. We stare at each other for a second, not knowing what to say, then... Oh my gosh, Isla! What? Your music meant so much to Cherry! She throws her arms out like I'm an old friend she hasn't seen in years. Sorry. Cherry knows she's being that girl, but... She cups a hand to her mouth, her voice dropping to a whisper. Isla's music helped Cherry realize she liked girls. Cherry used to cover Best Friends Don't Do This in her bedroom every night after school. Cherry's neighbours thought she was going through something dramatic. Wow. I'm definitely used to fans, but I'm not used to having to work with a fan. I've seen your makeup videos too, your Cherry Rose. Cherry used to steal Isla's chord progressions and try to rewrite them. Cherry even dyed her hair blue once. It did not look like Isla's, by the way. God, this is so embarrassing. Cherry swore she'd be normal. I'm not used to this tone from her. Cherry Rose, the 20-year-old Gyaru influencer with viral makeup and fashion tutorials and exactly one platinum single. Unlike me, her fame was a slow climb, a self-earned social media following. And unlike me, she appeals to her fanbase not by being an agreeable personality, but by being brutally honest. Every single post on her Chirper account starts with either hot take or is Cherry the only one who thinks? And right now, she looks like she's genuinely trying not to explode with excitement. You're doing fine. Really? Because internally Sherry is screaming like full banshee. I expected you to be more intimidating, or... Nah, don't worry about being normal. Don't worry about being normal. In this room, normal usually just means boring. They think you're cool. See? This is why Isla is awesome! Sophia told Cherry to match the room's energy, but Cherry only has one setting. Maximum. Anyway, Cherry didn't mean to interrupt you. They decided Cherry will be doing the end credits track like last minute. And they wanted a tonal shift, something more upbeat, and Cherry was like, say less. So, here we are. Oh, of course she's doing the end credits. Wait, sorry, are you working off Cherry's draft? This is yours? Well, Cherry and the music directors, but yeah. That second verse is Cherry's. Don't worry, Cherry's not precious about it unless you butcher the phrasing. I'll try not to destroy your legacy. Please, Isla is Cherry's legacy. Okay, Cherry will get out your way. Seriously, if you want to tweak anything, go for it. Cherry trusts Isla. She starts towards the door, then pauses with her hand on the frame and looks back at me, suddenly softer. It's really good to finally meet ya. You too. The booth is smaller than I expect. All glass and foam panels. The mic suspended like it's waiting for me. There's a stool in the corner I won't use. I never sit when I sing. I step inside and the door clicks shut behind me. The outside world dulls instantly. The chatter, the footsteps, and the pressure of being watched all fade into something distant, like sound underwater. It's just me and the song. I slide the lyric sheet onto the stand and read it through again slowly. I mark a line with my finger, then another. That word doesn't feel right. Too pretty. I swap it for something plainer. Whenever you're ready, Isla, we'll do a warm-up take first. I adjust the headphones. The track comes in. Piano, soft strings underneath. I take a breath. My voice doesn't sound the way it did 5 years ago. It's lower now, shaped by time and everything I never said to Romy out loud. I don't reach for the notes anymore. I let them come to me. As I start to sing, I picture the girl in the film. The longing, the heartbreak of wanting to be seen. You'd like that, Mike. I want to get a new mic at some point. I mean, not that this mic isn't doing perfectly well, but there's some things I think I need a mic upgrade for. But I have no idea what I'm looking at. I need to do a whole bunch of research. The simple, terrifying desire to be loved. I sing through the verse once, feeling out the shape of it, then again, leaning into it. I stop halfway through the chorus and lift a hand. Give me that again, from the top. I do as I say. This time, I let the notes sit longer. I don't rush the silence between lines, I let it ache just enough. And the words fall into place, like they've been sitting in my chest for too long, waiting for permission. I finish the take and let the last note fade on its own until there's nothing left but air. Silence. Yeah, okay, that was good. through the glass, I see Sophia give a proud nod. I look back down at the lyric sheet so I don't smile too much. I step out of the booth. That's it! That's exactly it! We're off to a good start. Thank you. Cherry is standing near the console, arms folded tight like she's holding herself together. She catches my eye and mouths, "Holy shit." Cherry knows she's not supposed to interrupt, but wow! That was insane! You literally fixed the song! She listened to it? I didn't fix anything. You did! You totally did! Cherry didn't even know it needed fixing until it was fixed! I realised Cherry might be the only person here who actually understands the technical and emotional labour behind singing this way. Anyway, Cherry will let you bask, or decompress, or whatever it is serious artists do after being iconic. She points finger guns at me. I wish to point out I also just did finger guns on that one. So I guess Cherry's coming across really well in the dialogue. And then she's gone, ducking out of the room with a wave. Sophia's already talking to the sound engineer, rewinding something, pointing at the waveform. She will probably have some revisions for me. When I finally go on break, the studio feels quieter than before. And there's a lightness in my chest I didn't expect. I smile to myself. I am fucking back. By the time I'm done, my throat feels pleasantly raw, the good kind of tired. The studio has shifted into wind-down mode. Crew members coil cables, dim lights, and talk in the low, exhausted voices of people ready to go home. I spot Levi leaning against the studio wall, phone in hand, looking like he's been waiting. Wow, you got on Cherry's good side. I can hardly believe it myself. She asked me if you'd be interested in hanging out after filming. I put her number in your work phone if you're interested. She's young. She's a little intense for me if I'm being honest. And I was gonna explore Belmont by myself. You get your salt bread? I did. I was gonna eat it now. Oh, I thought this was for me. He lifts the brown paper bag, the entire reason I came here. What? That's mine! Give it back! I reach for it. He raises it effortlessly out of reach. You're giving me orders now? I'm your manager. It's my salt bread. I earned it. I did the job. Not all of it. Isn't there something you've forgotten? If this is about my spending again... Levi tilts his phone toward me. You haven't posted on Chirper for 3 months. I was on my sabbatical. And now you're back. They want you posting at least twice a day from now on. Don't look at me like that. I didn't make the spreadsheet. Twice a day? What do they want? Behind the scenes crumbs? An artsy shot of my coffee? A caption on how grateful I am to be here? Preferably all 3. He shrugs. Everyone your age lives on social media, the exec said. It's the only way to stay relevant, and look, it's also a chance for us to control the narrative a little. I knew it. I should have faked my own death. Be grateful they're not making you do short-form video. He unlocks his phone and turns it toward me again. They've rolled out something new. It's called Chirpa. It's a post scheduler. All you have to do is queue some posts in the morning and carry on with your day. He hands me my work phone. Chirpa sits neatly along the bottom row of apps, freshly installed. I open it. 3 drafted posts wait inside it. You can think of it as assisted authenticity. How dystopic. Why can't Notable just post for me? It's actually a compliance thing. The ethics committee decided agencies shouldn't function as complete mouthpieces for their talent. We have an ethics committee? He leans back against the counter. Recently, an artist claimed her agency posted something political in her name without her approval. She sued the company for reputational damage. Said it wasn't what she believed in. Did she win? No, but it was messy. There were depositions, internal emails linked, sponsors got spooked. It looked like her agency was puppeteering her. So now they've built a system where technically you're the one pressing confirm. There'll always be 3 drafts sitting in there. You can tweak them or write your own, which I know you're not going to. But if something goes live, it's because you approved it. It protects the company from being accused of scripting you. And it protects you from claiming you don't know what went out. Right. So basically, I'm approving whatever Notable wants me to say every day, and if it backfires, it's my fault. More or less. His voice softens just slightly. Your choices do matter, Isla. Different posts land differently with fans. And now that you're working again, eyes are on you again. I sigh. Just choose 2 posts to queue, then you can have your salt bread. Alright, what have we got? We've got Velmont, you still look the same, in a good way. Good vibes, good people, it's so nice to be back. We've got back in the studio today, singing again feels grounding. We've got, hey everyone, sorry I've been quiet lately, I took some time off, but I'm back now and I'll be around more. Thanks for sticking with me. Okay, which of these do we like? I definitely like that first one. I think I like the first 2. This one and that one, I think. Yeah. I pass the phone back to Levi. Happy? Look at you, aren't you a ray of sunshine? I thought you'd want me to play it safe. Levi's loyalty is to Notable talent first. I never forget that. I tap the final schedule button and watch the little loading circle spin. The smug digital birds in the corner chirp and do a little dance. Alright, done. Now give me my bread. Levi lowers the bag with exaggerated care, like he's presenting a newborn. Enjoy the rest of Velmont, superstar. Eat a real meal. I snatch it from his hand before he can change his mind, fingers already itching to tear it open. I peel back the top and freeze. Half of the salted bread is gone. You didn't! Levi is already halfway to the exit, hands in his pockets, as casual as sunrise. I was hungry, and you took too long. Time is money, mine specifically. Levi, this is a crime. You'll live. You'll be paying for the next one. Don't be late tomorrow. I take a cab back to the hotel to drop my bags off. My room is exactly how I left it. Curtains down, bed slightly unmade. The minibar remains untouched, for now. I toss my bag onto the chair and flop onto the bed. There's still a glow humming under my skin. Singing again did that. The way my chest loosened, the way the rest of the world went still when I held that last note. For a few minutes, I was raw and honest. I turn over, causing the scrunched up paper bag in my pocket to crinkle. Half a loaf is nowhere near enough to satisfy the craving. Besides, I'm starving. I want to fill my stomach, maybe wash it down with a drink or two. Anything to keep my mind occupied long enough that Romy doesn't wander back in uninvited. I wonder if that cafe is still open. I stand, about to pull on my black combat boots that I've been wearing all day. They're heavy, platformed stompers picked out by Notable to fit with my brand. I'm on holiday. Maybe I should wear what I want for once. Yeah, let's wear what I want. I opt for the other pair still in my suitcase. A cute pair of buckle heel pumps. I bought them at a thrift store when I was still playing open mics for tips. They're soft, a little worn, and definitely don't fit the edgy icon mood board Notable created for me. Putting them on gives me a small spark of adrenaline, even if they're only meant to be shoes. I grab my bag, toss my room key in, and slip out the door. The sun is already sinking by the time I head back toward the cafe. The festival has spilled fully into the streets now. Pop-up stalls crowd the stone paths, strung with warm lights that flicker on one by one as the sky softens into gold. There's music everywhere, from live guitars to tinny speakers to someone singing over a shared bottle of wine. The air smells like sugar, smoke, and skewers. People drift in loose, happy clusters with no one in a hurry and everyone deciding what to eat next. It's nice. I weave through the crowd, letting the noise wash over me. By the time I reach the cafe, Jay is just locking the door, keys jangling in his hand. Hey, you're back! One salt bread not enough? My manager stole half of it. Please tell me you have leftovers. Nope. We sell out by the afternoon, every day. He pockets the keys, studying me as if I'm a puzzle he's enjoying. So, what have you got planned for the rest of the night, mysterious lady? Dinner, but I'll wander around the festival for a bit as per your suggestion. Mind if I join you? Most of the sunlight catches in his hair, turning it the colour of polished copper. For a second, it's hard to look directly at him. I pause, Levi's words drifting into my mind. I've got to move on from Romy. Sure. He grins, easy and nonchalant, and falls into step beside me. By the way, nice shoes. They look cute. The festival winds around the old town centre like a loose necklace. Beads of sound and light strung between food carts and makeshift stages. We walk side by side, close enough that our arms brush now and then when the crowd squeezes in too tight. Jay points things out as we pass. That one's grilled peaches on sourdough with rosemary honey. Dangerous combo, you'll dream about it for weeks. He gestures to a woman flipping something golden in oil. That's fried polenta stuffed with garlic mushrooms. Technically a breakfast food, but it's a local favourite. I nod along until he points to a row of glazed meats on a rotating grill. Skewers look like little cubes of sunshine on sticks. Oh, I should mention I'm vegetarian. That's not a problem here. He scans the stalls, eyes narrowing like he's searching for something specific, then brightens. Come this way. He leads me across the street to a smaller stand tucked between a wine tent and a candle cellar. The air smells like cheese and something herbaceous. Fried cheese skewers, you have to try them. Fried cheese skewers, man, I want those. You're more of a foodie than I thought. I'm a professional. The vendor hands us 2 skewers, each one stacked with cubes of golden crispy cheese threaded with sprigs of rosemary. I only just ate, I shouldn't be hungry! The paper trays are already showing grease stains. I can't resist fried cheese. In whatever variety it comes in. I reach for my wallet, but Jay's already tapping his card to the machine. You just can't resist cheese. Yeah, that's also a mood. Cheese is good. All kinds of cheese. You didn't have to do that. I can pay for myself. It's my apology for running out of salt bread. I glance at him, then back at the cheese in my hands. Part of me thinks it's unfair that he pays. I probably out-earn Jay by at least 10 times. Maybe more if notable talent isn't lying about royalties. But Romy never once paid when we went out. Not for dinner, not for coffee, not for the stupid late-night dumplings she always insists are a good idea. I end up covering everything every time. And there's Levi, who's always finishing my orders and now stealing bites out of food I paid for. Thank you, Jay. Sometimes it's nice to be treated like a normal girl. We keep walking. There's a small stage near a fountain now. There's a small stage near the fountain now, lit by soft yellow bulbs. A girl with hoop earrings and a battered acoustic guitar plays something slow and rhythmic into the open air. People have gathered in a soft half circle, wine cups in hand. We stand and watch for a while, awash in the music. My shoulders are touching Jay's again. You still hungry? A little. Then let me take you to one more place. The taxi lets us out in front of a sleek building with a restaurant on the top level, just above the city lights. Inside, the restaurant has floor-to-ceiling windows, offering a sweeping view of the city at night. The tables are dimly lit by candles in the faint glow of hanging lamps. The food smells of saffron and butter, carried by well-trained waitstaff who sweep gracefully between tables. Jazz plays on the speakers. There's no denying it. It's a romantic place. Everything about it feels curated for intimacy. You're so stiff. Don't go on dates often. He's calling it a date. Not really. When the waitress comes, Shay takes the menu without asking and places our order. He remembers to choose vegetarian dishes for me. Truth be told, I just got out of a 5-year relationship. 5 years? Damn. Yeah, and you're the first person I've gone out with since. That explains a few things. What happened between you and your ex? Which stupid guy let you go? Woman. It was a woman. His expression shifts. Surprised, not put off. Oh, so you're a lesbian? Sort of? The words catch in my throat, just for a second. I'm sorry, did I misunderstand things? I didn't mean to. It's fine, I meant to say I'm not a lesbian, I'm bi. I don't talk about this. I have never talked about this. Not to journalists, not in interviews, not even to most of my friends. And I've just said it to a man I met this morning over a coffee order. But he doesn't know I'm Isla Solace. I'm just a regular girl coming out to him. It's just easier to say I'm a lesbian. Wait, why? He asks it simply, without a gender, like it's a normal question. That makes it worse, because now I'm either going to lie or keep going. My ex was my first love. We were together for 5 years. The first year was really, really good. I leave out the press, the marketing, the way people turned our relationship into a headline. Then I started traveling for work more, being away. And I suppose while I was away, mental health was a struggle for her. Drugs were a struggle for her. It affected how I was treated. I say it in a passive voice. It's easier that way. The waitress returns, placing a wild mushroom risotto in front of me and a fried tofu dish in front of him. Ooh, risotto. Once again, stomach, you shouldn't be getting hungry, you just ate. Being bisexual became a problem. She worried constantly that I'd leave her for a man. Eventually, she started asking me to identify as a lesbian. Said if I didn't, it meant I wasn't loyal. I pushed the risotto around my plate, watching the cheese melt slowly into the rice. She was the one who cheated in the end. I don't say Romy left me for another lesbian. I can't prove that's why, but it felt like it. It wasn't enough that I loved her. It only mattered if I could never love anyone else. I look up. Jay is watching me carefully. His fork set down. He's giving me his full attention, which is somehow the most exposing thing that's happened all evening. I've just handed a stranger things I'm not supposed to say on record. I don't know what possessed me. The wine, maybe? The festival? The fact that he paid for the cheese skewers and asked no questions? The fact that he doesn't know who I am? Or maybe it's just that nobody's asked in a long time. Sorry, I don't know why I told you all of that. Yeah, I see. I'm sorry, eh? He says it gently, carefully. It's okay. I mean, I think it was my fault too. The whole label thing was stupid. If lesbian meant that much to her, maybe I should have just... No. She cheated. That wasn't you. You didn't make her do that. I glance up. He sounds genuinely angry on my behalf. The lights outside twinkle like scattered sequins over the city. For a moment, we just sit there, candles flickering between us. You know, eh? It's alright. I'm bi too. That catches me off guard. I mean, I've never been with a guy. All my past relationships have been with women. Overall, I prefer women, but the attraction is still there? Yeah, pretty much. There are guys I've been into. I don't do online dating, though. It's hard finding other guys who like guys in the wild, you know. Besides, I want kids someday. So dating a guy feels less likely. For a second, I don't know what to say. Then I smile. So it wouldn't have worked out between us anyway. You don't want kids? Well, it sounds like Isla probably doesn't. So, let's go with that. I don't think kids are on the table for me. I've never seen the appeal of parenthood. Jay chuckles, returning to spearing his tofu. We wouldn't have worked out anyway. I can't see myself leaving Belmont. Cafe is my home. We eat the rest of our meal slowly, our earlier tension diffused into something easier. I could be tempted to come visit you again. Just make sure you leave some salt bread for me. The conversation softens. We talk about lighter things, like the kind of customers Jay hates the most. Tourists who ask for plain toast and tip in coins. He tells me how the oven broke mid-morning rush once, and he joked the cafe was going through a raw food phase until the technician arrived. Without the tension of possibility, maybe even because of it, I feel closer to him now than I did before. Jay walks me back through the quieting streets of Belmont. By the time we arrive at the hotel, we're talking like old friends. We slow our pace when we reach the entrance. For a moment, I consider inviting him in. The thought of warm skin, borrowed comfort, and the airplane food intimacy of a one-night stand rises instinctively. But I don't. After everything I spilled at the dinner table, sex is the wrong kind of intimacy. A shortcut to something I don't actually want. I turn toward him to say goodnight. He steps forward, his hand brushing my cheek, and the kiss is tentative. A brief touch, nothing more. My first kiss since Romy. And then I hear it. A faint click in the distance. A kind of sound you don't notice unless you're used to flinching at it. A camera shutter? Jay? I've never kissed a celebrity before. I freeze, pulling back just enough to look at him. You know who I am? You mentioned her name in the restaurant. Romy. I looked you up when you were in the bathroom, Isla Solis. There's a little glint in his eye, as though he's amused he figured it out. I let out a rough breath, half a laugh. Yeah, that's me. He gives me the same easy grin from the cafe, like none of this changes anything. Let me know if you're ever in Belmont again. Let me know if you ever sleep with a guy. We both laugh and then we hug one last time. Then he turns to go, hands in his pockets, fading back into the stillness of the street. I watch him walk away before stepping through the glass doors of the hotel. Goodbye, Jay. Common Root Chapter 2. I wake up later than I meant to. The curtains are still shut, but the late morning sunlight filtering through them turned the room a hazy gold. My phone buzzes a few times. Probably Levi wondering where I am. I didn't give Jay my number. I should order room service. Something ridiculous just because I can charge it to Notable's card. There's an ad for Goldflake waffles in the hotel elevator that feels like the right level of indulgent. It's my last day on set. Sophia suggested Cherry and I do a harmonized tag at the end of the song. Other than that, it will mostly be the filming of promotional clips, behind-the-scenes footage, and fake laughing with the director. I can handle that. My flight is at 7 in the evening. I'll be home before midnight. My phone buzzes again. I roll over and pick it up. Notifications flood across the lock screen. All of them are from Chirper. Is it the posts I scheduled? The first few were just noise. And then they start to take shape. Wait, the rumors were true? We really can't have anything. Now the queer bait are exposed, please tell me it ain't so. Why do bi women always end up proving the biphobes right? Are we just an aesthetic to you? Oh, okay, so now dating a man is a crime? You guys are pathetic. I blink hard. My heart is already starting to pick up speed. And then I see it. A photo, grainy, zoomed in, me and Jay kissing. The lights from the hotel lobby glow in the background. My hand is on his chest, leaning into him like a romance film poster girl. The caption reads, "Lesbian icon Isla Solis spotted kissing a man in Belmont." It already has 10,000 likes. My mentions are a war zone. Remember when I called out Isla Solis a fake les like last year, lol? I was right. At Isla Solis, explain. Tyler says, please, please, please tell me that's shocked and you're not dating some ugly male. I should stop reading. And it's like some invisible force is compelling my finger to keep scrolling, keep spiraling. I need to say something, anything. I need to post to clear the air. I'm still staring at the screen when there's a knock on the door. Isla, it's me. Let me in. I move to get up, but before I even reach the handle, the door swings open. Just kidding. You think I wouldn't take the extra key? Levi! Is he here? The guy? Levi, my Chirper account is a mess, they're saying? Yeah, I saw. Someone had an exciting night. He's hiding how much the situation is spiraling to protect my feelings. Don't worry. Notable is in damage control mode right now. It's still early stages and mostly from nobodies. We can get the post deleted, claim it's shopped, say it's not you. The notifications keep coming. One in particular catches my eye. The photo is real, guys. I saw her at Isla Solace in the restaurant with the guy. It's accompanied by a photo of Jay and I at the restaurant, taken in good lighting. The quality of the photo, impeccable. How should I respond? They're all asking me to respond. Levi reaches to take my phone from me, but I cradle it to my chest before he could take it. His hand drops to his side. Let's just get to the set, Isla. We'll sort this out. Ignore the trolls. He rests a hand on my shoulder. I let him pull me up, phone glued to my hand. Levi calls us a ride. I'm in the back seat of the taxi, still glancing at my phone at the oncoming barrage. Some claim Jay is married and I'm a homewrecker. Others claim I cheated on Romy. People are stitching together old posts, screenshots, interview clips, trying to prove one of the above. You know, Isla Solace, it's not even the fact you're not a lesbian, it's that you fucking let us believe you were. Your fans felt represented by the narrative you sold. If you were bi or straight, why didn't you say so? I read it again, then again. The words feel heavier each time, like they're pressing directly on my ribcage. I want to reply, it's not my fault. But would that even matter now? Would they listen? Or would it just look like another excuse, another carefully drafted PR statement? Is it actually my fault? Levi, who's sitting in the front seat, turns around suddenly. If you're still looking at your phone, stop. I know. Notable is on it. We're drowning out the comments. By tonight, all the posts will be buried under positive ones. The cab driver changes the radio station. I try to focus on the lyrics, but the words blur. Everything sounds underwater now. We're almost there. Don't let them see you rattled. I nod, even though I'm not sure I believe I can pull it off. I know I need to hold myself together, but part of me wishes the cab would just keep driving. Instead, it pulls up to the curb. It's just a film set, Isla. Most of them are too busy getting their jobs done to care about your love life. He is lying. Look at the way the production assistants near the equipment truck are huddled together, their eyes darting toward us and then back to their phone screens. The whispers are invisible, but I can feel them like static on my skin. As we head inside, the usual bustle of the recording studio is there, but the staff seem on edge. I This is the first time I've been flamed on the internet. Is there a template on what to do? Tea's on the table, Isla. Sophia wants everyone on the floor in 5. Thanks. I reach for the tea, but my hand hesitates. The PA doesn't wait for a response. Just yesterday, she was asking me for a selfie for her sister. Now she practically scurries away. I see Sophia standing by the fake oak tree park bench set. She looks exhausted, her jacket wrapped tight against the studio's chill. She's arguing with a man in a headset. It's about the buy-in, Sophia. This whole film is marketed as an honest representation. If the face of the soundtrack is being flamed for lying, the audience is gonna look for reasons to critique every frame I fucking shoot. Then shoot it better. Leave no room for critique. I also think having a straight woman sing the credits compromises the project's authenticity. I hired Isla for her voice, not her dating history. Think of the brand association. My name is on those credits too. The contract is signed. We're recording. The cinematographer scoffs, throws his hands up, and walks past me without a word. I take a step forward. Sophia, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean for the production to get dragged into this. Isla, are you alright? I'm surprised you showed up. Those stars would have called in sick with a PR-approved migraine. I don't want to let the project down, but if it's better for me not to be here, I can leave. Look, the investors are twitchy and Marcus is worried about his artistic integrity, but we have a schedule. The internet has a 48-hour memory span. We just need to outlast it. Can you sing, or are you going to crack? I feel the weight of the guilt by association. I'm not just a singer anymore, I'm a budget risk. I'm a PR headache. I'm the reason these people are getting mean comments in their own mentions. Before I can respond, a sharp, rhythmic clicking of platform heels sounds against the concrete floor. Cherry's pink and black setup is a jarring contrast to the somber mood of the room. Isla, Cherry saw the photos. They're saying horrible stuff about Isla, like how Isla was lying, how Isla was never a lesbian. Cherry wanted to ask, are the photos real? This feels like making excuses. Let's be honest with the girl. They're real. If I tried to deny it, it might make it worse. Yes, they're real. I was on a date last night. Cherry's mouth opens, then closes again. Okay. Cherry is just gonna go set up now. Do I apologize to her? For what? For not correcting strangers? I turn to Sophia instead. I'm going into the booth. I walk past Cherry, feeling her gaze burning into my back all the way into the glass room. The glass door of the booth seals with a soft, heavy thud, cutting off the low murmur of the studio. Through the glass, I see Sophia whispering to Cherry. Cherry looks agitated, her hands moving animatedly before she suddenly goes still. She looks at me, not with the starry-eyed gaze of a fan, but with the sharp, clinical judgment of a rival. Then, after a few more words from Sophia, Cherry huffs and walks towards the booth. Are we not recording separately? Sophia's voice crackled through my headphones. No, I won't get the blend I want with you two tracking separately. Cherry is getting in the booth. Wait, I'll track the lead and then you can have Cherry layer the harmony on top? It'll be cleaner that way, easier to edit out any mistakes. The door opens and shuts again, sealing Cherry inside. Her sweet, candy-like perfume immediately fills the small space, clashing with the sterile smell of the foam padding. She adjusts her headphones with jerky, angry movements. Oh, she is not happy with us. Sophia, really, for the sake of the technicals... I'm the producer, Isla. I want the organic bleed. I want you two breathing the same air. Face each other. Share the bidirectional mic. Cherry's cold eyes trace the lines of my face, as if looking for the lie hidden in my skin. We step closer until we're barely a foot apart. To share the mic's sweet spots, we have to stand in each other's personal space. Cherry's whisper is razor sharp. Try not to go flat. Cherry would hate for the icon to be the one who ruins the take. Just follow my lead, Cherry. Ready and go! The piano melody swells in our ears. I take a breath, watching Cherry's chest rise in sync with mine. To harmonize perfectly, I can't look away. I have to watch the shape of her mouth, anticipating the vowel sounds, timing the release of every consonant. I start the note, a soft, haunting melody. A second later, Cherry slides in. I expected her voice to fight mine, a reflection of the tension between us. But as our voices meet, something happens. She captures my vibrato and mimics it perfectly. Her higher register wraps around my lower notes like silk over stone. It's effortless. It's the most honest thing I've felt all day. Her eyes widen slightly as she realizes it too. We're suddenly, terrifyingly, on the same page. The final note lingers, fading into a beautiful, resonant silence. Neither of us moves. We're still standing close enough to feel the heat coming off of each other. Cherry's lip twitches, her cold expression flickering for the first time. Okay, that's the one! I don't even need to touch that in post. Cherry is the first to break eye contact. She steps back, adjusting her cardigan as if she's shaking off a layer of dust. Isla's timing was off on the last bar. Was it? Because Sophia seemed to like it. Whatever! Cherry doesn't care. She bolts out of the booth before I can say another word, letting the door slam shut behind her. My hand rests on the cool metal of the mic stand until it's warm. I linger behind in the booth, away from the crowd for as long as possible. By tonight, Levi said, all the posts will be buried under positive ones. Oh, Solace returns from her trip to Belmont today. Stay tuned for pics. Solace, say it's fake. Please say it's fake. We're excited for Isla's final day on the Poinsettia set. Big things coming. I defended you for years. It's definitely her in the pic, by the way, same necklace. Lesbian icon Isla Solace, no longer a lesbian. I shipped Remy and Isla so hard they were my OTP. This feels like being cheated on all over again. So proud of our artists for continuing to inspire audiences worldwide. Notable family. You know what hurts? It's not that she likes men, it's that she built her career on visibly loving women. I hate rich people. If she was bi or straight, why didn't she say so? Why let young lesbians look up to her? Her notable talent, you need to address this immediately. Silence is not a strategy. At Pensettia official, drop her. It's unacceptable for a sapphic film to have a straight woman singing the credits. I will not be watching #Pensettia if Isla is singing the credits. Authenticity matters, and this is textbook queerbaiting. That guy works at a cafe, by the way. Like, of course she went for some broke guy. Romy deserved better. Romy and Isla were endgame. IDC. Isla loved working with the #Pensettia team in Belmont. More updates soon. Another lesbian who runs back to bed the second it's convenient. It compromises the integrity of Pensettia. Pensettia official, rethink this casting decision. Honestly, her vibe was always kinda fake. If you can date men, then you're not a safe space for lesbians. Solace spotted in Belmont. Exclusive footage. I am so heartbroken. Romy and Isla were my comfort couple. Whitewashed Asian celebs chasing Western validation by claiming to be a queer fork found in the kitchen. Well, this is why you don't idolize women. Always dramatic, always messy. She dates a dude one time and offends shit their pants. Clearly, women don't support women. There's tension on the Pensettia set over this. Unknown number. You're home, right? Pick up. If Isla stays on the soundtrack, I'm not buying a ticket. And notable talent, do your job. She built a platform off lesbian suffering and then pivots to a man. Wait, wasn't that Isla Solis drinking a lot after the breakup? Didn't she show up drunk to something last year? She's an alcoholic anyway. She got photographed leaving a bar wasted, draped over that manager of hers. If you think about it, Romy spiraled while dating Isla. Makes you wonder. Romy got into drugs during that relationship? Just saying. What if Romy became an addict because Isla was emotionally abusive? The pattern is clear. Alcohol, emotional manipulation, now men. She's no different from a man then, lol. Notable talent, is she gone yet? Like, boycotting the film unless Isla is removed? Wow, there are lots of terrible people on the internet. She's probably drunk. Drunk right now, Keck. Need to post something. Okay, drafts. What have we got? We need to pick 2, right? And none of these are written by the agency. I'm sorry if my silence about parts of myself made you feel betrayed. If you felt represented by my music that was real, it still is. We have, I'm not a fucking fictional character, I'm a person. I went on a date. If that shatters the version of me you preferred, I'm sorry, but I wouldn't apologize for living my life. We have, maybe I should have called myself a lesbian from the start. Maybe that would have made everyone happier. Maybe I should have kept every messy part of my life off the internet. I don't know how to be the perfect icon you all wanted. Ooh. Actually, do we have to do 2, or can we... Whoop, there! Accidentally scrolled into the log and not into the drafts. I mean, I like that first one. Well, I mean, the first one is very polished. The second one could go horrendously wrong. And, yeah, I don't think the internet will get along with that last one. Let's go with the first one. I like the first one actually. Can we just do 1, or do we have to do 2 again? We do need two. Okay. Well, it's going to be both of these then. The polite one and the distinctly not polite one. I wake up to the sound of metal crushing under my shoulder. Did something catastrophic happen? I reach under myself and pull out an empty vodka soda can. Right. Last night. There are more cans on the bed, on the floor, on my nightstand. I don't remember opening this many. I don't remember much at all after coming home, actually. Just waking up to throw up in the bathroom. Not surprising with that amount of vodka. I grope for my phone. When the screen lights up, I want to throw up again. Chirpacue is still open. All of my queued posts sit neatly in their little boxes. Panic-fueled, half-coherent paragraphs line up like bombs waiting for their turn. One is set to go live in 10 minutes. I delete everything. I check nothing has made it to Chirpa, then double and triple check. Something shifts downstairs. Soft thud, then the unmistakable sweep of someone pacing. How nice of Levi to leave me drinking myself unconscious alone, then let himself in for breakfast. I roll out of bed. My feet crunch on another can. The mirror tells me mascara is smeared down half my face. Whatever. Levi's seen worse. As I head downstairs, I kick 2 more cans out of my path. They clatter loudly across the floor and down the steps. It isn't Levi. Romy stands by the counter, backlit by the morning lights through the glass doors. She looks like she belongs there, like she never left, and like she didn't carve herself out of my ribcage and walk away with the pieces. Pain hits my chest so fast I almost miss a step. It's a stab into a scar that never fully healed. Worst of all, she's still beautiful. What are you doing here? Hey, I texted you last night saying I'd drop by to find some documents I left here, and the door was unlocked, so I let myself in. Her tone is light, as if we're old classmates bumping into each other at a train station. Right. Okay. Why didn't security stop her? They've probably seen her enough times to wave her through. How are you? Good. Really good, actually. She leans back against the counter, arms crossing in that Pulp Fiction femme fatale pose that once made me write 3 songs in a week. I went to the Maldives with my girlfriend. She puts an emphasis on the word girlfriend, just to make sure I catch it. That's nice. I've never been. Did you stay in those little villas on stilts? It was beautiful. We swam, ate everything in sight. Kim surprised me with a private dinner on the beach one night. Kim. My replacement has a name. Sounds incredible. It was. We went snorkeling too. Kind of like that time we went, except Kim got proper snorkels, so I didn't get seawater up my nose every 10 seconds. She's obsessed with sea turtles. I'm glad you had a good time. Yeah, me too. How about you? How was Valmont? Does she know what happened? Notable was supposed to handle it. They said they handled it. It's fine, just been busy. It always suited you, the whole quiet town vibe. I did like it there. You used to say the light in small towns made everything look soft. You wrote a lyric about it, remember? I do. I remember exactly which one. I remember writing it in the same kitchen with her legs over my lap, her sock prodding my thigh every time she wanted attention. She looks down for a moment, fingers brushing the countertop. Her eyes are so blue. For a moment, neither of us fills the silence. She is looking at the countertop. I'm looking at her. And I'm aware that I'm doing it and I can't stop. 5 years leaves a lot of muscle memory. More importantly, how are you? I saw Cherry's chirp. Huh? Cherry posted something? My heart rate climbs. Cherry has 500,000 followers. I did work with her in Belmont. I haven't really been checking Chirper. Ah, well, maybe you should check it. You're kind of a hot topic right now, and Cherry sounded upset at you. Yeah. Romy picks up the pink file on the counter and slips it into her bag. I found what I'm looking for, so I'll be leaving now. I called your cleaner to give this place a sweep. You should take a shower. She pauses at the door. I fucking told you so. The door slams, then she's gone. As soon as she's gone, I log on to Chirper to find Cherry's account. I recognize my own post instantly, the one I made 5 years ago. I will always love my girlfriend more than anything in the world. Cherry has reposted and quoted it. Cherry feels so sad. You are such an inspiration to Cherry. Why does everyone keep disappointing Cherry? Seeing you with a man feels like a betrayal. It has over 80,000 likes and 10,000 comments. Someone replied, I agree with Cherry wholeheartedly. We supported Isla because we thought she was a safe space from the male gaze. Now she's just another pop star using us for aesthetic. There's a community note attached to the original post now. A little grey box sits under my old declaration, written in flat, neutral language. Context. Since this post, Isla has been photographed kissing a man in Vermont. There are links to news and blog articles. You won't believe who Isla Solis left her girlfriend for. Lesbian icon Isla Solis soft launches a guy and tries to pretend we won't notice. A notification appears on top of the screen. Levi, you have an hour to get to the office before I break into your house again. It's been 3 months since I've stepped inside this building. Hard to believe that 5 years ago getting signed here was everything to me. Management, branding, PR, the whole package in one neat little contract. Back then, this place meant I'd made it. I used to look at the notable logo and feel proud. Now all I feel is tired. The walls are lined with awards, tour posters and magazine covers. Platinum records catch the overhead lights. My face is up there too, from the Recklessly era. 21 in that shot. My hair half shaved and much more blue, trying to look queer enough. The staff at Notable are used to looking at celebrities. Usually there's a quick flicker of recognition, then they turn away and get on with their work. I used to find that flattering. Today, I'm grateful for any reminder people still like me. Isla? One of the assistants approaches, clutching a tablet. I recognize her vaguely from the contracts floor. Meng? Did she move departments? Hi, you're needed down the hall. Crisis Communications is this way. Crisis Communications. In 5 years with this company, I've never had to go near that department. I follow the assistant down the corridor. We pass meeting rooms with glass walls. People inside glance up. They are good at looking without staring, but I can tell they know exactly why I'm here. I scan every face we pass, even though I know it's pointless. Keep following the assistant, or should we find our manager? Let's find our manager. I can't help but look around for that stupid guy's face for moral support. Excuse me, can I find Levi first? He called me here, so where is he? He's already with Crisis Comms. You can meet him there. Okay. I hate that I want him beside me before I walk into that room. May I remind you, Levi, that you're already on thin ice for not adhering to our code of conduct when... Hey... When I step into the office, the conversation stops mid-sentence. Levi is standing near the far end of the table, jaw tight. The crisis team looks at me like I've just interrupted something delicate. Hyla, thank you for coming in. I'm Barbara. Sorry to call you in on such short notice. Not at all. The words come automatically. I take a seat in one of the white chairs. It rolls slightly under me, like it doesn't want to commit to staying still. We exchange brief handshakes and polite smiles. Levi gives me a small nod of acknowledgement, but stays standing. Across from me sit 3 people. Barbara, the crisis lead in the turtleneck, a man with a laptop open in front of him, and another man further down the table scrolling through something on his phone. We'll get straight to it. The screen behind them shifts to a slideshow. My name appears in bold beside a collage of headlines. The cafe photo, the kiss, Cherry's repost. A graph with a steep red incline. Barbara explains what I already know. Online sentiment has shifted dramatically in the last 18 hours. Sponsors are threatening to pause or pull funding if this continues. There are concerns about brand alignment and audience trust. There's also a secondary narrative forming around alcohol misuse and alleged emotional abuse. No verified sources yet, but the velocity is concerning. So, we see 2 viable paths forward. She taps the screen. A new slide appears. Response strategy. The first bullet expands. Our recommended approach is a controlled apology. You would express regret for any confusion caused, reaffirm your commitment to the queer community, and clarify that your music remains rooted in those experiences. The goal is to stabilize sentiment and reassure key partners. I see. Stabilize sentiment. As if people like Cherry are just numbers on a graph. This option appeases your core fan base and shows accountability without introducing additional volatility. I thought we were just going to drown out the negative comments or get them taken down. The man with the laptop leans forward. We already had Cherry's team remove the repost. It doesn't change much, her audience has already seen it. He adjusts his glasses. Trying to bury a reaction from someone with her reach risks triggering what's commonly known as the Streisand effect. The Streisand effect? When an attempt to suppress information draws more attention to it. If people think we're manufacturing positivity or censoring criticism, we look manipulative. He gives a small shrug. Isla tries to silence Cherry has a stronger headline than the one we have now. I swallow. From a brand perspective, deflection is costing more than clarity would. An apology positions you as empathetic rather than defensive. It lowers the temperature and protects revenue streams. The other man nods. I modelled similar incidents. A timely apology can cut negative engagement significantly within 48 hours. It also gives sponsors something tangible to point to when they're asked why you're staying. Silence settles over the table. They're waiting for me to nod. Levi steps forward and rests his hands on the back of my chair. Are you not even going to say the second response strategy? The crisis lead gives him a measured look. The alternative involves a more assertive stance. It carries significantly higher short-term risk, particularly given sponsor pressure we're not advising. The second strategy is that Isla publicly identifies as bisexual and addresses the industry pressure that shaped prior messaging. It prioritizes long-term authenticity over immediate appeasement. Barbara exhales slowly. It's significantly more volatile. She doesn't say the rest, but it's obvious. Sponsors do not like volatility. The brand strategist turns to me. It's not just your reputation at stake here, Isla Solace. There are contracts tied to your name. If this escalates, the financial impact doesn't stop with you. We're seeing increased attention toward individuals connected to you. Co-stars, production staff, there's a risk of collateral scrutiny. Jay's face flashes through my mind. Our responsibility is to protect the broader ecosystem around you. That includes projects and people who did not choose to be a part of this controversy. I stare at the screen where my old post is frozen in time. My promise to Romy now framed by analysis and percentages. Can I speak to Isla alone? Levi, go ahead, fire me if you want. Just remember how much annual leave you'll owe me on termination, on top of the severance. You're going to get me to supervise the next step anyway. What difference does it make? We're done here. Levi, what did they mean when they said you were on thin ice? Levi doesn't answer. He just grabs my wrist and pulls me into the nearest empty meeting room. The door shuts. They think I've been too lenient with you. He laughs once, without humour. They think I let you do whatever you want too much, say too much. What? You've done the opposite. Yeah, I have. That lands. I told you to lean into the lesbian angle. I told you not to correct interviews. I told you it was easier to sell, use notables' words. I badgered you into taking jobs you didn't want. I thought I was protecting your career. He exhales. Maybe I'm protecting my contract too. No, I'm sorry. I've caused so much trouble for everyone. If I just kept my stupid sunglasses on like you and Romy always said. Isla. I don't want to lose everything. Isla. The second time he says my name, softer, stops me. He steps closer, lowers his voice. You used to get angry if a producer tried to soften your lyrics. I blink. Is that really what you became a singer for? To apologize all the time? To keep hiding your feelings? What did you become a singer for? Fame? For money? For the way Romy used to look at me when I played something new? I need you to remember something. His voice is steadier now. You wrote recklessly in one night because you were furious, right? Because you refused to edit your feelings down to something prettier. My throat tightens. The memory hits without warning. Romy had left a scarf behind. Romy had left a scarf behind. I wrote recklessly because the girl I was sleeping with didn't return my feelings and fucking left a scarf behind. I'm bad at talking, at explaining to people what's going on in my head. So I sing. That's the only way I know how to say anything honestly. My voice cracks. Tears blur the room before I can stop them. I brush them away quickly, annoyed. Levi reaches up, then stops himself. His hand hovers for a split second before falling back to his side. I'm not telling you to torch your career. And I'm not saying ignore what this could cost. It could cost a lot. But if you don't think it's right, don't apologize. Don't appease your fans. But whatever you choose, make it something you can live with. He holds my gaze. No matter what you choose, I'll fight where I can, Isla. I'll protect you, even if it makes my job 10 times harder. I look at him, and for the first time since this started, I feel less alone. I don't try to stop the tears this time. That night, I lie on my bed, fully dressed, staring at the ceiling, and replaying Levi's words over and over until they lose their shape. Whatever you choose has to be something you can live with. The instructions themselves are simple. Notable has queued 2 clean, concise apologies on Sherpa Planner. All I have to do is press confirm and their plan goes live. On the taxi ride home, disregarding their plan and coming out felt like the obvious choice. Fuck Notable! Fuck the sponsors! Levi said he was on my side. But it wouldn't be the first time him siding with me ended up aligning perfectly with Notable's long-term strategy. The phone screen glows in the dark. Is a label really that important? I sit up and pull my knees to my chest. Sophia had been nothing but kind to me. She defended me without hesitation. Poinsettia is her film, yet its reception is now tangled up with mine. Boycott Poinsettia is still trending. If I escalate this, turn this into a declaration instead of a clarification, it won't just burn me. They still haven't figured out Jay's identity. If the fire spreads, they might. The thought makes my stomach twist. He didn't sign up for this. I close my eyes. Cherry's face floats up instead. She was practically vibrating when she met me, covering my songs in her bedroom, saying my music helped her discover she liked girls. She felt represented, and so did so many other lesbians. Whether I meant to or not, I let that representation stand. I let it grow and become the narrative. I feel guilty for ripping that away. Maybe keeping the peace isn't cowardice. Maybe it's protecting the people around me. I avoided admitting it even to myself, but I can't avoid it anymore. I should have spoken up sooner. For fuck's sake! My voice sounds small without a mic. Why does everyone care so much? I'm bi, I'm still queer. Why does everyone care who I date this fucking much? The room is quiet except for the hum of the air conditioner. On my phone screen, the confirm button waits. So does the draft I typed on the taxi ride home. I'll release at least one of the apology statements. That much feels inevitable. The question is whether I also release a statement of my own. And whether I'm ready for what happens after. Your choice will determine your character route. Okay. Ooh, there's a coming soon option for scheduling nothing. Right, let's continue. Okay. For the prepared by the agency apology things, we've got, I'm sorry for the confusion and hurt my recent actions have caused. I understand how important sapphic representation is, and I should have communicated more clearly. And we have a photo of me from a night out in Valmont was shared online without consent. That situation was the result of my own carelessness. My relationships and experiences have always been real, and I regret that this moment caused confusion. Or we have mine. There's one more thing I wanted to say. I was never a lesbian. I'm bisexual. I always have been. Well, whoop, nope. Scrolling in the wrong place again. I think really it's got to be the first one and my own. Confirm. I swallow, then press schedule. This is it. I'm officially out as bi to the world. Jay, Sophia, notable talent. I'm sorry. Cherry, I'm sorry. The app gives me that neat little chirp. I let the phone drop onto the pillow beside me and fall backward onto the mattress. Relief hits me sharp and suddenly, like I've been holding my breath for minutes. By morning, the posts will be out. The internet will do its thing. People will interpret, misinterpret, screenshot, quote, rewrite me into whatever story they want. There's nothing left for me to do tonight. All I can do is wait. And that puts us on Levi's roots. I'm guessing to get onto Cherry's roots, we have to not come out as bi. I wake before my alarm. My phone is face down on the pillow beside me, exactly where I left it. I don't pick it up yet. I lie very still. If I don't move, the internet won't have time to form an opinion. It doesn't work like that, though, I know that. I pick up the phone. The notifications stack behind the lock screen. Chirper, chirper. A call from Notable's PR line at 8 AM. A voicemail. Chirper, chirper. I unlock the screen. OMG, Isla Solis is bi? Not sure how I feel about all these lesbian celebs suddenly going bi, but good for her, I guess. Okay, so maybe you think you're bi now. Okay, cool. Why go on social media / TV to scream it? No one really gives a fuck anyway. Well, apparently people do give a fuck. I scroll past everything with my thumb pressed flat. Not reading, not looking, just moving until I find the only name I'm willing to look at right now. One text. Sent at 7:48 a.m. Levi. Good work, superstar. Levi. I reread it multiple times. I don't cry, which surprises me. I spent half of last night braced for it. That particular flavour of grief that comes after you've done something irreversible. It's just me in here. My statement is out. Whatever is happening on the other side of that lock screen is happening with or without me. And I feel like myself. My stomach growls aggressively, and the moment is over. I should eat something. The phone buzzes again. Another text from Levi. Don't check Chirper yet. I'll come over soon. We can have breakfast together as celebration. He types for a while, then. You sounded good on that recording, by the way. Sophia sent me the file. Something tightens in my chest, but gently. The way a song does when it resolves. You insufferable man. As I reread his texts again, my phone vibrates in my hand. It's the PR assistant, so her name is Meng. Notable must be mad. I'm prepared for this. I'll deal with them after breakfast. I slide to decline the call. But seconds later, I get a text. Meng, Isla, please come back to the office. They've doxed Jay. Oh, shit! Sorry, Jay! My heart drops to the bottom of my stomach. I spend the next few minutes furiously trying to call Meng back. I hit voicemail for the third time. Hi, Meng, it's Isla. Call me back, please. I hang up and try again. Voicemail. I leave the same message and sit on the edge of the bed with my phone in both hands, about to call a ride to the notable office when I hear the key in the lock. Good morning. Levi lets himself into my apartment the way he always does, without knocking, without announcement. I swear he opens the door slower this time, like he's been standing outside it for a minute deciding. He glances at the phone in my hand. I was about to congratulate you again, but I guess you heard the news about Jay. How did he get doxed? How did they find him? He sets his takeaway coffee on the table. There was a loyalty card on the table in the restaurant photo. Someone cross-referenced the cafe name. Valmont's got a way of making people stay longer than they plan. I knew I shouldn't have taken that fucking loyalty card. I wasn't even going to use it. I still have that loyalty card. I have to call him. The cafe? Isla, wait. I don't have his personal number. He's probably working. I need to see if he's... The journalists are likely at that cafe right now. How do you think it will look if they get a call from you right now? He says it calmly, the way he says everything when he's working. I hate it. He's just a barista. He didn't ask for any of this. I know. He doesn't even know how any of this works. Notable's legal team is already filing takedown requests. They're working on it. And Jay? Who's looking out for him? He's being advised not to speak to the press. By who? Notable's legal team is handling it. Right, of course, Jay is being handled. Not helped, handled. By people who've never met him and don't care what happens to his cafe or his name or his life. Only that he stays quiet long enough for the news cycle to move on. I set my phone down on the counter very carefully. Like if I'm not careful, I'll throw it. I thought the hard part was coming out. Levi looks at me, his expression softening ever so slightly. I'm sorry we can't celebrate just yet. Albert has been driving me for 3 years. He doesn't say anything when I get in the car, which means he's already seen the news and decided it's not his place to ask. I appreciate that about him more than I've ever told him. Levi usually sits in the front, but today he sits beside me in the back seat. I watch the city pass through the window. Then I open Chirper. I have more courage to look when Levi is here. There are screenshots of old interviews and people picking through 5 years of press like archaeologists looking for proof of a crime. I keep scrolling. Just woke up to the Isla Solace news and I'm not okay. In a good way. I needed to hear that today specifically. Thank you and fuck the biphobes. And Isla Solace's post made me cry on the bus. I think I'm going to come out to my parents. Not to be dramatic, but Isla Solace coming out as bi is the most real thing a celebrity has done on this app. It's been a long time since my mentions looked like this. This is why I pressed the button. I keep scrolling, carefully, the way you eat something that might be too hot. The angry ones are still there too. I don't let my eyes settle on them. The car slows at a light. I lower my phone and look at Levi. He's staring out the windshield with his coffee cup balanced on his knee, untouched for the last 10 minutes. He has his composure back, mostly. The jacket is still yesterday's, but it's straightened. His face is arranged the way it is when he's presenting a version of himself that's not quite authentic. Except his thumb is tapping against the side of the cup. Once, twice. He stops when he notices me noticing. How's Chirper? Loud, but there are people saying thank you. A lot of them. Good, I'm glad. He turns back to the windshield. Something is bothering him. Does he feel guilty he encouraged me to come out? Does he feel bad about going against Notable? It doesn't matter right now. I plan to support him as much as he supports me. The post performed better than projected. Sentiment has stabilized faster than our modeling anticipated. We're seeing a net positive shift across your core demographic. The framing landed well. Sponsors are cautious, but they're staying. On paper, this was the right call. He says it the way people announce good news when they're about to follow it with bad news. I pick up my paper cup of water, annoyed. As I said a minute ago, I know all that. Can we get to Jay? How are we going to help him? The doxing is manageable. Takedown requests for all the open threads are processing. Within 48 hours, the direct links will be significantly reduced. The dox has anchored me to notable talent in a way I can't walk back from. Before this, leaving the agency was always an option. Now, Notable is the only thing standing between him and a full media cycle. They're the only ones with enough leverage to tell outlets not to publish his name. How did his details circulate so quickly? The individual responsible runs an account with a pattern of targeted harassment toward female celebrities. They seem to harbour a specific bias against people like you. He says it with a slight narrowing of the eyes. The subtext is not very subtle. I told you so. Barbara clears her throat. Our other problem is that Jay is a private individual. He doesn't have an NDA or management, no existing relationship with Notable or any affiliated party. He has a story that every entertainment outlet in the country would pay generously for. Right now, nothing is stopping him from telling it. So, what are we doing about it? We're sending someone to Velmont to speak with him directly. And what will they tell him? That he'll receive compensation, legal protection, whatever he needs to feel. You want to pay him to stay quiet? We want to protect him. His details have been circling for over 14 hours. I set my cup down. Barbara is still talking, but I'm no longer listening. 14 hours? Those posts went live around midnight. It's not noon yet. I don't have to elaborate, and the people in the room have already done the arithmetic. Something slots into place, quietly and horribly. The look Barbara shoots Levi confirms it. I look at Levi, who is looking at the table. He knew. He knew Jay's name was already out there before I pressed the button. And he didn't tell me. It's possible this individual would have spread his information regardless of what you posted. There's no way to know whether a different statement would have prevented this. It's probably the most human thing Barbara has said in the last 2 meetings. For the rest of the meeting, I answer when I'm spoken to and hear almost nothing. They tell me to just continue on as normal. I keep glancing at Levi. He doesn't look back, not once. I keep thinking about Levi's text. Good work, superstar. He knew, and he didn't tell me. When we leave the meeting room, I walk ahead. Levi falls into step behind me. I can pick out the rhythm of his walk in a crowd after 5 years. Don't slow down. It's not Levi's fault. I know why he hid it from me. But still, you let me decide without knowing. I turn around. Even though you knew. I told you I'd protect you, even if it made my job 10 times harder. How is this protecting me? If you'd known about Jay before you posted, you wouldn't have posted, and I thought you should post. He's right. He's right, and I hate that he's right about me. He knows exactly how I would have folded, because he's watched me fold enough times to be certain. You decided that for me. Isla. Jay has cameras outside his cafe right now, Levi. His full name is on forums. He's forever going to be known as the guy who kissed a lesbian when you Google his name. Do you know what that can do to someone when he applies for his next job? I hate that the first time Levi put me before Notable, he chose to do it like this. I thought I could trust you, Levi. I'm sorry. It comes out plainly. It's the most unguarded thing I've heard him say all morning, which just makes me feel worse. Please, save the apology. I need time to think. If I can't trust him, there's no one I can trust. I get Albert to drop me off somewhere I can finally have breakfast. I used to come here a lot when Romy and I first started seeing each other, before the money. She was a huge fan of the mini bento boxes and how you can use the store's microwave to heat them up. I like the egg salad rolls. I buy an egg salad roll and a frappe, then take a seat at a table away from the window, keeping my sunglasses on. Eventually, I open Chirper. Feels like a ritual at this point. I read the good ones first, because I'm only human. The good ones are genuinely good. You'll recognize a few usernames. Accounts that defended me during the fallouts and are still here now. I'm advised against following fans back, but I remember them. I get to the critical ones. I'm glad she came out, but can we talk about the 5 years of silence? She has a massive platform. Not trying to be cruel, but Isla Solace coming out now, after the photo, after the controversy, isn't brave. It feels like damage control. Everything you said. The biphobia in the comments is disgusting, obviously, but also Isla Solace let notable talent use a lesbian label for years and said nothing, and now that she's been caught, she's reframing it as authenticity. I'm genuinely not sure what to feel. Then I go looking for the account, the one that found Jay. It takes longer than it should. The username is a deliberate tangle of random characters, the kind designed not to be searched. They repost a lot. They hate men. Their opinions are delivered like verdicts. But the pattern is there once you see it. I'm not going to apologise for being tired of this pattern. Lesbians deserve better than being someone's aesthetic phase. Hashtag noticing there is not a single high-profile bisexual woman who didn't end up choosing a man in the end. Thread, bisexual celebrities who conveniently ended up with men, 1 out of 23. Friendly reminder that bisexuality is often used by public figures to maintain their alt image while enjoying straight privilege in private. Taylor Swift, I love women. Also Taylor Swift, I'll only date men though. That person sucks so badly. Call-out post after call-out post of bisexual women, almost exclusively. Celebrities, creators, anyone with a public profile who's bisexual and dating a man. The language shifts slightly each time, dressed up in different justifications, but the target is always the same. I scroll back through months of it. Barbara said they would have done this regardless. I'm not sure Barbara was right. Speaking of Barbara, she advised me to keep posting as normal. Silence makes people linger, and right now we don't want them to linger. Look unbothered, look unfazed. Bore them until they find someone new to care about. Okay, we have, written by myself, do you ever feel like the whole world is against you no matter what you do? It's honestly exhausting. Prepared by the agency, to everyone who's shown me so much love and support since my return, thank you, it means more than I can say. I'm grateful for this community and so excited about what's coming next. Oh, we have a couple more that aren't agency prepared. Despite all the hard times, I'm grateful to be part of Poinsettia Official. The film is something really special. And then we have, there's been too much drama lately, missed when things were quieter. Is it a good idea to mention the film? How are people feeling about it now, I wonder? Nope. Scrolling in the wrong place again. Yeah, I think we go with these two. Yeah. And scheduled. I don't feel like anything I just queued. But I won't give the internet the satisfaction of seeing me rattled. I set my phone down and pick up my coffee. The ice has melted into the cream, turning it all into a brown mush. Halfway through my salad roll when a woman I don't recognize stops at my table. Isla Solace? She's maybe 30, carrying a jacket over one arm and a coffee of her own. She looks like someone who has approached people before and learned how to do it without startling them. Sorry to interrupt. I'm Kira. I write for The Flux. I recognized you when you came in, and I debated with myself for about 10 minutes before coming over. Uh-oh. Journalist. Oh. Hi. I won't take up your time. I just wanted to say I've been following what's happened to you this week. She sets a card on the table. The Flux masthead is plastered across the top. A queer arts and culture publication. I think there's a story worth telling properly. Our motto is to tell all sides of the story. She says it like she means it. So, I was wondering, do you have a few minutes? We could just talk. No quotes without your approval. I look at the card for a moment. How did you know to approach me here? I didn't. I come here most days. Sure, that's what they all say when they've followed me. I pick up the card. I'm pretty sure I should ask my manager first. I'd want to run it by my manager first. Sorry. The words come out before I've fully decided on them. It's like second nature to me at this point, relying on Levi for a second opinion, even though I'm angry at him. No worries, that's completely reasonable. I'll be in touch once your agency gives the okay. She takes her coffee off my table and leaves the store, leaving me to finish my food alone. I don't go straight home. I need to make another purchase. I need to restock on strong ones. Oh no, not the booze. I have a booze shipment coming in next week, but in light of recent events, there's no way I'm waiting that long. I'm about to turn into the liquor store when someone grabs my arm. Isla! I spin around. Viv! What are you doing in a shopping centre? Don't you have people for this? Vivian and I go way back. She also came up through open mics, but never got signed. And from what I know, she never wanted to be. I needed air. You needed air, but you're indoors? You know me. I do. Want to join me? I'm getting a pretzel. We end up on a bench near the escalator, Viv with her pretzel and her energy drink, me with a bottle of water. So, I saw the posts. Everyone saw the posts. I mean, I saw all of them. The guy thing, the bi thing, the cherry thing. Who's eating cereal at like midnight, refreshing your chirper like a maniac? I I didn't know you still followed me. Yeah, and you never followed back. I follow everyone from the old scene. I still follow that comedian guy who only posts pictures of his lizard. I laugh, feeling myself relax. How's the lizard? I think. Better than both of us. She tears off a piece of pretzel and hands it to me without asking. How are you actually doing? I've been better. Obviously, I'm asking how bad. I consider giving her the notable approved version. Then I remember this is Viv, who once told a venue owner to go screw himself on my behalf when he tried to shortchange our set payment, and who has never once in the 10 years I've known her said anything she didn't mean. Pretty bad. And the guy in the photo, he got doxxed because of me. I catch Viv up on everything that's happened in the past week. Jesus! What are you gonna do? About which part? Any of it? That's what I need to figure out. Viv chews her pretzel and thinks about this with the focused expression she used to get right before she played a new song for the first time. For what it's worth, and I know it isn't worth much coming from someone whose biggest gig in the last month was a Tuesday residency at a pub in Viv. I'm just contextualizing. For what it's worth, I thought the post was good. It's a coming out one. It sounded like you, not like your press releases. I look at the bottle of water in my hands. Yeah? The early stuff always sounded like you, then it started sounding like a corporate mood board, and then it sounded like a mood board that had been focus grouped. Notable would love to hear that. Notable can get in the bin. What does your manager think? Ooh. He's the one who didn't tell me about Jay. Is he normally a good manager? Yes, he's normally very good. He comes to my house uninvited and he steals my food. Have you thought about getting a different manager? I open my mouth. Close it. Short answer is no. The long answer is the thought has occurred to me and I've moved past it so quickly each time that it barely registered as a thought at all. It crossed my mind. And he knows everything! 5 years of contracts and relationships. A new manager would take years to get up to speed, and Notable would probably assign me someone worse. Viv looks at me for a moment. Whatever you say. The kid drops an ice cream cone on the escalator and starts screaming. We watch the fallen cone travel down the escalator for a moment. Ooh, that is going to be so messy! I wonder what happens when an ice cream cone reaches the bottom of an escalator. A huge mess is definitely the answer. So, what's next? Well, someone approached me at the convenience store earlier. A journalist, she writes for the Flux. Oh, I know the Flux. You do? Yep. They wrote an article about me about 18 months ago. Was it good? Hang on, I can pull it up. She takes out a phone with a cracked screen, scrolls for a moment, frowns, then scrolls more. Okay, it is buried. Give me a second. I swear it exists. Here. She holds the phone out. It's a profile piece. Vivian and the art of playing to 20 people like they're 20,000. There's a photo of Viv mid-set, eyes closed, raccoon tail hair flying in all directions. I read the first few paragraphs. Oh, this is actually really well written. Right? Is that a photo of your boyfriend? X. They let me quote my honest thoughts about him. By the way, I dumped his ass. I hand the phone back. So, the Flux reached out to you? A journalist found me an hour ago and asked to talk. Said there was a story worth telling. Are you going to? I think about Barbara's slideshow, and the graph with the red incline, and Jay's cafe with cameras outside the door. It might be a good idea to get the label stuff and the identity thing published. I don't know yet. I want to talk to someone first. Your manager? I don't answer straight away. Maybe? Isla! I know. He's made one bad call in however many years? 5 years! One bad call! In a job where every call is bad. She finishes the last of her pretzel and crumples the paper bag. Don't make big decisions without him just to prove you don't need him. I scoff. When did you get wise? I've always been wise. You've just been too famous to notice. She tosses the crumpled paper bag without standing up. Somehow lands cleanly in the bin. I'll call you this week, okay? And we should catch up more. Definitely. It's a strong track, really strong. The bridge especially, that's the moment. It's still a draft. There's still so much I need to improve. I'm glad you're open to improvements. I do have a note on one line. One line? Well, 2 words. That reference to, you know, the century eggs. What's wrong with it? I had to look it up. General audiences won't know what that is. It pulls them out. It's not that rare. It's a common enough Chinese delicacy. I know, and we love that. We just think there's a version of this that keeps the feeling without losing people in detail. What would you replace it with? Something more universal, like something preserved, something that lasts forever. It keeps the meaning, works for everyone. Yeah, it's also an awful lot longer, I think, of a line, dude. It does not mean the same thing. It means something close. Have a think about it. We can revisit. Why does this one line matter so much to him? Why do they care about this one line so much he wants to change it? You look like you're about to do something inadvisable. He wants me to change the line. I heard. From my song, he said it was too niche, that people won't know what it is. Knowing you, that's probably true. So what? They can look it up. Or they can just feel the line without knowing exactly what it is. That's how poetry works. Also true. Then why are you not on my side right now? I am on your side. That's why I'm going to tell you something you don't want to hear. You've been here 2 months. You have no chart history, no leverage, and a debut that hasn't officially dropped yet. Right now, in this building, your lyrics are worth exactly as much as they decide your lyrics are worth. If I change this, what else do I change? Where does it stop? What do you want your career to look like in 3 years? Because the answer to that determines whether this line is worth the fight. You want to still be here in 3 years? You want to have made enough that they have to listen to you? You want to be in a room where your opinion on your own lyrics actually costs them something if they ignore it. You're not in that room yet. So I just give them the line? You defer. This once, on this one thing. And you remember exactly what it felt like, so that when you're in a position to say no, you say it. And if I never get to that position, then you'll have made a lot of music that meant something to people, and you'll have one line in one song that you know the real version of. I visit Notable's office again to discuss the interview, but apparently Kara beat me to it. She came here? Yes, an hour ago. You just missed her. Should I do it? The interview? Levi is also in the room, since it's his job to be here. Normally, he'd chisel in at this point, but he's quiet. It's not a bad idea. It'd be an opportunity for narrative control. A well-placed profile piece could redirect press attention away from Jay. She did say their motto is to tell all sides of the story. I'm aware. That doesn't mean much, though. Then, the second part. I believe the journalist has enough from public sources to write the piece regardless. She's going to write it. I sigh. Of course she is. I just want one thing I do not to feel like damage control. I know that feeling well. Levi follows me when I leave the crisis office. You should at least be coached before the interview. What, by you? I don't need coaching, it's not a public appearance. Journalists will circle back to the same question 3 different ways until you answer it differently. You'll think you're having a conversation and you'll be on record. This isn't my first interview, I know how they work. You've done press junkets in a controlled environment with a PR person in the corner. This is different. You're in the middle of your first crisis. Anything you say is going to be read through that lens. She came to Notable's office before you did. She's done her research. End the conversation or question his motives. I would like to question his motives, I think. Is this actually about the interview, or are you trying to control me? Wait. What? That's not what this is. Oh, is it not? Am I picking a fight? Bits of column A, bits of column B. Yep. Am I picking a fight? Because I'm kind of really tempted to pick a fight. I'm picking a fight. I'm aware I'm being hostile to the only person who's genuinely on my side right now, but I can't stop. You were complicit in everything Notable has ever done. You organised every single interview where I called myself a lesbian, every press junket, and you said nothing. The only reason I'm in all this shit right now is because you dragged me out of my sabbatical. You put me in Velmont. Am I being fair? I don't care. You take my keys and break into my house and make yourself impossible for me to function without. And then you're surprised when I want some fucking independence for my own career? How convenient for you that I need you this much. I watch that land. Levi has gone very still. I haven't seen him this static ever. Then he takes a slow breath. If that's how you want to see me, fine. You have every right to. I suppose I deserve this. Best of luck on the interview. gone too far. My chest feels all wrong. Part of me wants to take it all back just to wipe that look off his face. And I turn around and keep walking. Kira let me pick the restaurant. I selected an Asian fusion restaurant I know will be busy on a Friday, with the ambient noise loud enough to prevent eavesdropping, but low enough that you can hear the person in front of you. Good for a conversation. I get there first and take a seat facing the door. Kira arrives exactly on time. It's nice to meet you properly, Isla. She arrives the same way she did in the cafe. Bright smile and jacket over one arm. She sits down across from me like we're two people who arranged to have lunch, which I suppose we are. Thank you for agreeing to this. I know the timing isn't exactly great. Not at all. I've been meaning to come back to this restaurant. Kira orders a risotto and sparkling water. I order a vegetarian mapo tofu I won't taste properly. She waits until the waiter is gone before she sets a small recorder on the corner of the table. Do you mind? I find notes miss things. That's fine. It's not fine exactly, but I knew it was coming. I want to say up front, I'm not here to relitigate the past week. I'm more interested in the context underneath it all. The industry structures, the branding, how your identity got packaged, and your experience of that over 5 years. That's a diplomatic framing. Is it inaccurate? No, it's just... Usually when journalists say they're not interested in the drama, they mean they want me to bring it up myself so they don't have to. Kira laughs genuinely. Fair. You're in a unique position to speak to the pressure to perform a legible identity. The way labels capitalize on that, I imagine it cost you privately. I take a breath. Viv's voice surfaces briefly. They let me quote my honest thoughts. My agency did have a hand in it. The lesbian angle tested well. It made the music easier to market, which helped my career. Did you push back at all? At first, then I stopped. What changed? I learned how the industry works. You pick your battles. And the label was the only pressure? She says it conversationally. Name Rumi directly, or keep it vague is probably a better idea. There were other pressures too, personal ones. From someone close to you. My ex, she preferred if I didn't complicate the narrative. She asked you to call yourself a lesbian. She said it would be easier, and I agreed. Notable agreed too, so... Kira takes a small note on the pad beside her recorder, which I notice she hasn't touched since she set it down. Online sources state you have a preference for women. Are they incorrect? No, they're correct. I do prefer women, but I still like men. That's sort of the whole point of being bisexual. And Rumi knew that. Sounds like it complicated your relationship with your ex. It did, I suppose. But it wasn't the only complicated part. I was traveling a lot, touring. There were times I wasn't home for weeks, and when I was home I needed a lot of rest. So the mental aspect stretched on for longer. The mental aspect? I wasn't always present. I felt guilty about that. What do you mean by not present? Just when you're on the road that long, you come back and part of you is still somewhere else. It took me a while to switch off. I don't think I was always easy to be with. That must have taken a lot of reflection to admit. Kira picks up the drinks menu and waves the waiter over. I'm going to get a glass of wine. Do you want to share a bottle? Sure. Do you have a preference? I always forget what pairs with what. She tilts the menu toward me. I scan it briefly. Honestly, wine is a bit lost on me. I'm more of a spirits person. Order what you want. Really? I would have thought... Never mind, that's a stereotype. That musicians drink wine? That musicians have opinions about wine? Some do. I just never developed the taste. Don't worry, I drink all kinds of alcohol at restaurants, even when I don't like the taste. It's a social skill. Kira laughs. Alright, I'll order something simple then. Kira orders a bottle of something she clearly knows well, despite what she said. How was your date? Sorry? You know, your date with the barista. Her question catches me by surprise. It occurs to me that because of everything that followed, no one has asked me about the date itself. Not Levi, not even Viv. It was really nice, actually. I didn't realize how much I missed girl talk. Ooh, want to elaborate? Barbara did say the purpose of the profile piece was to direct our attention away from Jay. Talking about him seems antithetical to that goal. But maybe a neutral party painting the date in a positive light might make the public stop seeing Jay as a controversy and start seeing him as a person. There are people on Chirpa calling him a predator who tried to convert a lesbian. He doesn't deserve that. Ooh. I don't know what the best option here is. Let's see, the agency is trying to get him not to talk. Should we really be talking? It doesn't really feel fair to talk to a journalist about it. Yeah. Decline to elaborate. Like, it doesn't feel fair to talk about a person who hasn't agreed to be talked about. I shake my head, offering a polite smile. I don't think talking about it more would help anyone. Especially him. I hope you understand. Of course, I didn't mean to push. Her food arrives after that. Mervo tofu for me, mushroom risotto for her. You know, earlier you said to pick your battles? Her expression warms. I know what that's like, actually. Early in my career, I was staff at a much larger publication. I spent about 2 years writing pieces I had no interest in, like celebrity feuds, manufactured controversies, things designed to get clicks rather than say anything. My editor called it paying your dues. I know those types of articles. I'm guilty of clicking on them. She takes a sip from her glass. Once I got pulled from a story I'd spent 3 months on because the subject complained to my editor's editor. After that, I learned to, as you say, pick my battles. It's why I ended up at the Flux. Yes, it's not as glamorous, but I get to write things that actually matter to me. We talk for another hour. She asks about the music, about Belmont, about my tours. Kira shares funny anecdotes about past interviews, and I find myself genuinely laughing. By the time we finish, I feel lighter than I have all week. When I return home, the apartment smells like air freshener. The cleaner must have come by. I recall that Romy called them small victories. I check my phone. There's the usual barrage of chirper notifications, which I've gotten used to. There's also an email from Notable's legal team. Please be advised that the content removal requests filed on behalf of the private individual have been processed. Platform compliance has been confirmed on the majority of flagged posts. I exhale in relief. The posts will be taken down. I'm so used to texting Levi on reflex after something good happens that I'm already on his messages screen before I remember I'm mad at him. No, he's still my manager. Let's text him about the interview. It doesn't feel right to go completely radio silent, so I send him something brief. Interview's done. Went okay, I think. I'm about to go take a shower when my work phone buzzes on the counter. It's an email with Kira's address in the sender field. Hi, Isla. Thank you again for your time today. It was a very refreshing conversation. Just wanted to check in before we go to print. Are you comfortable with me using what we discussed today? Nothing will be attributed to you without your sign-off, so if there's anything you would like kept off the record, let me know by Sunday evening. Kira. I consider it for a bit. Honestly, it was a good conversation. I said what I meant. If anything, talking about the industry stuff on record feels overdue. It's not like Notable's branding practices are a secret to anyone paying attention. I type back. Hi, Kira. Sure, happy to use what we discussed. I spend the weekend relaxing and not doing much. I go to the gym, float around in the pool for a bit, practice guitar, write. On Monday evening, I'm sitting on the couch with my phone in hand, half watching a film on the TV that I've already seen. A chirper notification slides across the top of my screen. Why does everyone keep calling it Isla Solis an alcoholic? There's literally no proof. Context, Isla admits it herself. The community note contains a link from the Flux. I sit up. Then I remember two things at the exact same time. Our motto is to tell all sides of the story. They let me quote my honest thoughts. I dumped his ass. I open the link. The article doesn't mention Jay. It isn't a profile piece about me at all. Ooh! What it costs to love an icon. Romy on intimacy, identity, and learning to take up space again. By Kira Vasquez. The first thing Romy tells me is that she doesn't want this to be a sad story. I just want to talk about what it's actually like, being the person who stays home. Romy, 27, spent 5 years in a relationship with a high-profile artist whose music many in the queer community consider foundational. The relationship, in Romy's own words, was defined by absence. And there were long stretches, weeks, sometimes longer, when she just wasn't home. And I understood I signed up for this. But understanding something doesn't make it easier to live with. Romy describes the relationship's later years as increasingly difficult. Her ex-partner, she says, had 2 complicated relationships, one with Romy, one with alcohol. Her ex-partner has been candid about her drinking. In a recent interview, she told me, "I drink all kinds of alcohol at restaurants even when I don't like the taste." Oof. That is a quote out of context! Damn! Romy pauses when I read her the quote. That's exactly how she always talked about it. Like it was charming, like it was part of her personality. Identity, it seems, was also a source of tension. Romy is a lesbian. Her ex-partner's relationship with that label was, by her own account, more complicated. In the wake of their breakup, the icon has dropped the lesbian label and since been seen dating a man. Interestingly, when I asked about her identity in a recent interview, she said, "I do prefer women." For Romy, the ambiguity was its own answer. She never fully claimed it, Romy says carefully, and I tried to understand that, but it created this uncertainty I carried for 5 years. The door was always open, even if she never walked through it. Quotes out of context, classic journalism. Romy is doing better now. She has a new relationship with someone who she says simply present. She's been writing again, making things for herself rather than for anyone else. "I don't regret it," she says. "I just want people to know that loving someone very talented doesn't mean you have to make yourself small. I made myself very small for a very long time. I'm working on taking up space again." More like classic tabloids. What it costs to love an icon, Romy on intimacy, identity, and learning to take up space again? By Kira Vasquez? It's a profile piece about Romy. I don't read it linearly. My eyes catch on fragments, quotes. Romy described their relationship's later years as increasingly difficult. Her ex-partner, she says, had two complicated relationships, one with Romy, one with alcohol. Sentences I recognised, sentences I approved. Her ex-partner has been candid about her drinking. In a recent interview she told me, "I drink all kinds of alcohol at restaurants, even when I don't like the taste." My sentences taken out of context and reconstructed. Romy is a lesbian. Her ex-partner's relationship with that label was, by her own account, more complicated. In the wake of their breakup, the icon has dropped the lesbian label and was seen dating a man. Interestingly, when I asked her about her identity in a recent interview, she said, "I do prefer women." But I still like men. The second part of that statement, the important part, is not there. I actually laugh. Because this isn't all sides. This is a story Kira already decided to tell. I just handed her the words to do it. Against my better judgment, I call Romy. "It's Rome. I'm busy right now, so pretty please leave a message after the..." I have decided I'm picking a fight. Romy, what the fuck is your problem? Why did you go running to slander me to that reporter? You were the one who cheated on me. Was cheating on me not enough for you? Fuck you! I hang up, still seething internally. I should call Notable. I should call Barbara or the crisis team or the PR line. My thumb hovers over a contact. I've been here for a while. My phone is face up on the bar. I keep recalling the article in pieces. The way one prods a bruise to confirm it still hurts. Her ex-partner had two complicated relationships, one with Romy, one with alcohol. I take a sip of my drink. In a recent interview, she told me, "I drink all kinds of alcohol at restaurants, even when I don't like the taste." I said that to Kira like it was a charming throwaway line, and she filed it away and gifted it to Romy. How true that is. Would being coached by Levi have helped? Maybe he would have at least told me not to blindly approve everything. I down the glass. I came out! I said the true thing out loud on the internet, to however many thousands of people. I burned the narrative Notable built, and I did it on purpose, and I genuinely thought that was the hard part. I pick up my phone again. Romy is doing better now. Romy has a girlfriend who is present. Romy is working on taking up space again. I apparently took up all of it. Another one, please. The bartender obliges without comment. My phone buzzes. Albert. I let it ring out. It buzzes again. Albert again. I turn it face down. The thing is, I know Romy. I know the way she tells a story. The calculated pauses and careful qualifications, the I don't regret it placed before the part that's supposed to make you feel like she does. I've watched her do it in arguments, in the handful of interviews she gave when we were together, in the way she told me about her childhood on her third date. She's very good at sounding reasonable. She's good at making you feel, clandestinely and without accusation, like you were the unreasonable one. I should have known, I should have... My phone buzzes, vibrating the table. Text from Notable's PR line. Try to ignore it. But the bartender won't fucking look this way, and I want another drink, and I need to scan the QR code to order, and I see the notification on the lock screen. Hi, Isla. Please be advised that effective immediately, Levi has stepped down from his role. A transition plan is being arranged, and you will be assigned a new point of contact within the week. We appreciate your patience during this period of transition. I stop reading. The bar noise continues around me. Someone laughs too loudly at the far end of the room. The TV above the bottles is showing a football match and nobody is watching. How convenient for you that I need you this much. I stare at my drink. He didn't even call to tell me himself. I came out and Jay got doxxed and Romy gave an interview and now Levi is gone and I'm sitting in a bar whose name I don't know and I don't have anyone left to not text. I look at all the bottles behind the bar for a long time. One more. Oop, we got a bad ending. Maybe I shouldn't have picked a fight. I mean, I definitely shouldn't have picked a fight. That's definitely what led to the bad ending. However, the timing is convenient. So I'm going to call it here for the night. We got an ending, it's just a bad one. I may come back to this at a later point and try for not a bad ending. We'll see. But other than that, I have enjoyed playing this. I have definitely enjoyed it. Wow, the internet and several people really suck. I guess that's kind of what you have to deal with when you're famous and a public person. The game's good though. Very good. So yes, if you want to go check out the demo for yourself and maybe see bits of the demo that I haven't played through, you can go click the link in the description box and go to the itch.io page. And you can go follow the game, check out the demo for yourself. But yes. Thank you very much for coming, it's been fun. If you're new here and you've enjoyed your time, please consider subscribing to the channel. You can also follow me on social media, which is linked in the description box. The streaming schedule for the channel goes up both over there on social media and over here on YouTube in the posts tab of the channel. I did post it this week, right? Why do I always second guess myself on a Monday? I did! Good. The next scheduled stream is Wednesday, 7 PM for some more Pokemon Legends CA. We're slowly getting to the end of the DLC. I don't think we'll be done this week. We might get most of the story parts done this week. But we still have side quests and that fight against Zygarde. So yeah, hope to see you then, or another time. Once again, thank you very much for coming, and this is Kalla signing out. See ya! Bye bye!